The Tyler Van Dyke era is over at Miami, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Van Dyke has entered the transfer portal. He did put out a thank you note. He didn't thank the fans, but hey, he did put out a thank you note, and he will be going elsewhere, right? This happened hours ago. I just got in front of the microphone, and I want to talk to you guys about this situation. First thing I want to say is I wish Tyler Van Dyke nothing but the best, right? Here's how I look at the transfer portal. This is just my own opinion, but any player that played for Miami, I still root for them when they play for other teams. Like, I still keep up with Jalen Knight, and I still keep up with Keyshawn Smith. I'm not a fan of players leaving Miami and going to Florida State, Darrell Jackson, or going to a rival, but I'm always for you, the player, the coaches, do what's best for you, not just in football and life. Sometimes you got to do what's best for you. And I think the best course of action for Tyler was to go on and get a fresh start. I wish him nothing but the best. But I'm also not going to sit on here and act like everything was sunshine and rainbows. I'm not going to sit on here and give hugs and kisses and stuff like that when that's not how it was, right? So Tyler Van Dyke will go on. I believe that he can play at the D1 level. I believe he has some things to work on. And for him to play at the NFL level, he's going to have to get with the new team, start fresh, and hopefully he can learn what to do, how to do it, to show the NFL scouts at his new school. You know, like I said, long as he ain't with none of our rivals, hey, man, I'm rooting for you. I wish you the best of luck. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Miami in this new era of the quarterback position, because we went from De'Aaron King. Tyler Van Dyke took over for De'Aaron King, and it's been Tyler Van Dyke the last couple years, and now we're going into new territory. Now, let's quickly to talk about Tyler Van Dyke's time at Miami, right? This is just a quick synopsis, right? I don't want to go too deep into this, but basically, Tyler Van Dyke, De'Aaron King gets injured. Tyler Van Dyke comes in. He has a good stretch towards the end of the year. Everybody's hyped. Everybody's crunk. He didn't beat Florida State, and I believe that was the first kind of, because that Florida State team was doo-doo, and Tyler Van Dyke threw a couple interceptions in that game, and that was kind of the first. But you said, hey, you know what? We're going to look at the good, because the man went on a streak of 300-yard games and putting up a lot of yards. He got the hype. First-round draft pick. Now, when people on Twitter are calling you a first-round draft pick, you got to be a little bit worried. You gotta calm down a little bit, because what people on Twitter say does not go along with what GMs want. Early in my content creation days, I used to say, oh, they said so-and-so's going to be drafted. Then draft time comes around and he don't get drafted. So after Tyler Van Dyke busted on the scene, I wanted to see, one, how would he build on the hype of a first-round draft pick, because that's what they were talking to him about, and how would he be able to handle the pressure as QB1? We bring in Mario Cristobal. We bring in Josh Gaddis. And I'm like, okay. We got the quarterback position down, because, look, he didn't beat Florida State, but hey, the man numbers look beautiful. We go into next season and NIL happened. Now, during this time, our boy Tyler Van Dyke, he started getting the NIL deals. He started getting on the podcast, right? He started getting a merch game. He got a merch company with here, merch company from there. And in the group chat I'm in, I said, I don't know if, This is, TVD came into Miami as a kid from Connecticut, hard-working, hard-nosed. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight, to being on podcasts, being on in the forefront of NIL. Could that lead to success? And that season was horrible. Now, was the season horrible because Tyler Van Dyke did a podcast? No. The offensive line wasn't great. The offensive coordinator left to be, he was the Broyles Award winner, came in here, didn't do well. Mario Cristobal, he got here, he didn't do well. But last year is when we saw Tyler Van Dyke's mannerisms, and I think this is where a lot of the disconnect with the fan base, right? Sometimes it's not about throwing an interception, which he did a lot of, but it's about how you look. And if you're looking on film, if you're watching film, this isn't an opinion. You can just go watch the games. When Tyler Van Dyke did something, he just looked like head down, no kind of emotion, just walking through the runs, walking through the runs, walking through the runs. And I want to talk about, this is me talking about his time at Miami and the disconnect between him and the fans. Walking around here and looking down, moping. Listen, I'm not saying every quarterback has to be a leader, because if you're winning games and you're throwing touchdowns, nobody cares what your mannerisms is, right? Matter of fact, if you do that, people are going to call you a stone cold killer, even kill. But when you're throwing a couple interceptions in Middle Tennessee State game, when you're staring down receivers, when you're not living up to your capability as a quarterback, when you're not living up to your hype that you fed into, and then you add on top of that, during the games, you look disinterested, that's going to hurt you. So last year happened. He also went on a podcast and said something like, hey, I like to be with the visit. I like to go on the road because their fans are allowed. And a lot of people took that as a shot at the Miami Hurricane fans. Like I said, I'm talking to you about Tyler's time at Miami, and I'm talking to you guys about the disconnect between him and the fans, right? So we come into next season, and I'm in my mind, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have several videos out. I said, look, we need to go get a transfer portal quarterback. I don't believe Tyler is the guy. Some people agree with that. Some people said, nah, he didn't have the offensive coordinator. He didn't have the offensive line. So Mario Cristobal goes up. He upgrades the offensive line. He calls Tyler in. He says, this is your team. I want to show you it's your team, but I'm going to involve you in picking the offensive coordinator. Okay. So then all these reports come out. Tyler Van Dyke is laser focused. And I'm reading these reports. I'm like, I don't see him on no more podcasts. I don't see him advertising the merch. I see this man. They got him on Josh Pate's show. Hey, he's in the gym 24/7. I'm like, cool. I'm like, man, I think under a new offensive coordinator, I think under this new offensive line, I think Tyler Van Dyke can do great. Everybody's behind him. Forget what happened last year. Let's go. Tyler. Who. Then what happens? There's reports that he could possibly transfer to Notre Dame. Hey, reports come out. Then right before the season, there's reports that he could transfer to Alabama. Now, when that happened, that's when I was like, it's not the fact that a player wants to transfer. Because, look, if you can go get the bag and Miami won't give you the bag, hey, you got to do what you got to do for you and your family. but it was that this happened right before the season, right after Miami had improved the offensive line, right after, the hiring of Shannon Dawson. Miami had given you everything you wanted, and then reports come out that you could possibly be in talks with transferring to Alabama. Maybe it was just the people, but the bottom line, when that came out, the optics were bad. Cam Kitchings did a podcast interview, and he said that when that news hit, everybody was shocked. Like, damn, we about to lose our starting quarterback. So for the people in the comments who's going to say, I'm overreacting, I'm talking out my ass. Listen, even the players got hit with the news and was like, what? So when he did that coming into this season, it was like you're on thin ice. That's just the bottom line, with the fan base, with what's going on, everybody's looking at you, Then what happens? Texas A&M game. Oh, wait, listen. That Texas A&M game, boy, that boy Tyler Van Dyke went out there. TVD was back. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but five times. 5 touchdowns on SEC defense's head top. And I jumped on this mic. I was on there, let's go TVD. You better show up. That's what I'm talking about. 5 times. And not only was it 5 touchdowns on Texas A&M head top, it was Tyler Van Dyke and his offense battled back. They went down early and they said, look, this is a new season. I am TVD. And I got to tell you right there, everybody said, okay, this man is locked in. Forget about what happened in the offseason. Forget about what happened last year. Forget about all the nonsense. Damn it, we got us a quarterback. Damn it, we are focused and ready to go. Or so we thought. Because then Georgia Tech happened. A colossal coaching mistake and horrendous quarterback play. Ooh. It started to get out that, I believe that this notion that Tyler Van Dyke isn't great against zone defenses and has trouble reading defenses. That was out before this year, but after the Georgia Tech game, it amplified. Everybody started to notice that not 1 turnover, but 2 turnovers, 3 turnovers. Everybody started to notice that he wouldn't scramble for first downs. Everybody started noticing that he wouldn't throw the ball away. Everybody started noticing that he was forcing the ball into double coverage. There was a lot of blame to go around, and, hey, Mario, you're the head coach. You take some blame. Shannon Dawson, you're the offensive coordinator. You take some blame. But Tyler Van Dyke, you are QB1. You take the blame, especially when you're turning the ball over in your hands. And it got to a point where, listen, some of this is my opinion, but a lot of this is facts, right? A lot of this is facts. And the man had a turnover problem. And then he got benched. Now, when he got benched, the worst thing happened to Tyler Van Dyke in his legacy. Miami fans had been complaining about his mannerisms, about how he looked like he showed no emotion, about how he looked like, and to be fair, I do want to say this. I'm sorry, I skipped over this. Tyler Van Dyke dealt with multiple injuries this year. Tyler Van Dyke, they said on one of the whatchamacallits that he dealt with something with his legs where the skin was torn back and people dealt with it in a car crash. It was a medical term that I had never even heard before. So while I am talking about some positive and the negatives, I do want to say Tyler Van Dyke, he battled through those injuries. Let's keep that in mind, right? So, but then I believe something happened that really hurt Tyler's legacy because Miami fans had been saying, hey, at least show some emotion. At least act like you want to be there. Look, everybody in the rah-rah guy. But then what happened is, before Florida State, Emory gets the starting job. Tyler Van Dyke get benched, right? What does Emory do? Emory gets in that game. He looks eye to eye with the Florida State defender, runs his ass over. First down, Miami. And that right there was the fan base erupted. The fan base erupted. Oh my gosh, that's what we've been looking for a quarterback. That's what we want. Then what happens? Fourth down, Emory has to give it all he got. What does he do? Dive, extends his arm. Arm gets snapped. He gets the first down. He gives all. And people are saying, we're not asking Tyler Van Dyke to be a perfect quarterback, but I don't think it was too much to ask for him not to turn over the ball and to really show something that Emory showed. And this man went out there and gave his body on the line, was leading the team, was doing a lot of stuff that the traditional quarterback and leader of a team did. And this was a freshman, not an upperclassman like Tyler is. So I believe then fans were like, so it is. So we do got a quarterback who wants to sacrifice. You know, we got that moxie. And I actually believe that was the best thing that happened to Tyler Van Dyke, was getting benched, because these last two games, Tyler Van Dyke is the quarterback who I think, if he was that quarterback all year, this would be a total different story. Because these last couple games, we saw Tyler Van Dyke cool, confident, in control of the offense. Read, check down. Read, run. We saw him numerous of times running out of bounds and taking hits. We saw him numerous of times. He put up good numbers, didn't turn over the ball, spreaded the ball around. I believe this last game, it was like 10 different receivers. And I believe those last two games, a lot of people wondered, what if this Tyler came back? The Tyler Van Dyke that took care of the ball, because the arm talent is there. We know the arm talent is there, but I believe that during this season, he hit a mental block that hurt him big time. But those last two games, boy, it got people thinking, like, what if this Tyler Van Dyke came back? What if this one came back? What if he showed his arm talent, but also showed the composure of not turning over the ball, not throwing it to double coverage, checking the ball down, and also he had a couple scrambles, right? Well, today we find out that he enters the transfer portal. And I believe it's the best of both worlds. It's not that Tyler isn't a good quarterback. I just believe he needs a new scenery. He needs to get healthy. He needs new scenery. And I actually believe Mario Cristobal and his coaching staff benching him, letting him see Emory out there, letting him calm down a second, I think that not only helped him these last couple games, but I think it will help him at his next stop. Because when he is on, the arm talent, boy, the arm talent is there. He just has to get down some of the mental stuff, right? Tyler Van Dyke will go down as, when you look at the stats, as one of the best quarterbacks in the history of Miami, right? When you look at the stats. But I believe the most important stats, especially when it comes to quarterback, fair or not, and people got to realize that when it comes to playing the quarterback position, you're either going to get a lot of hate or a lot of love. And there are people there's going to be people to say, you guys never gave Tyler a chance. Stop the cap. Stop lying. Because when he produced on the field, even when he lost games his first couple years, people ignored that. People praised him. People, when you're the quarterback and you do good, you're going to get praised to the highest of high. But also, when your team doesn't win, especially when it's blatant, you can easily see it's because of turnovers, you're going to take a lot of heat from that. That goes with being QB1. When you look at the person that Tyler was, I don't know him personally, but all the reports said that he busted his butt. He was in the gym. He was working out. He was putting in the work. He was a great kid. He came to Miami from Connecticut. Some people say he even grew up a Dolphins fan. I've been hearing conflicting stories on that. There's some reports say he was a Dolphins fan. Others say he was an Eagles fan or something like that. But bottom line is he was a good kid who came here, and I believe this is a good break for the program. It's a good break for Tyler Van Dyke. Tyler Van Dyke enters the transfer portal. You guys let me know what you think. I know this is going to be a hot topic. Wow, 21-minute video. I'm not editing none of this. Hashtag the future if you made it this far. Hashtag future. Let me see who rocking with the boy. And hey, if you think anything I said was wrong, let me know in the comments. Because guys, the thing I love about this channel is sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes my perspective is a perspective that maybe I'm looking at things wrong. And when you guys comment, especially when y'all disagree with me, I love it when y'all agree with me. Don't get me wrong. I love it when you agree with your boy. But when you disagree with me, it makes me think, okay, let me think about this. And I do that, and I do try to respond to most, if not all of my comments. Hashtag the future if you made it this far. Tyler Van Dyke, hey, man, if you're watching this video, I wish you the best. Go on and be great. Thank you for the good times at Miami. But I'm excited for the future of this program, and I'm excited for the future of this quarterback position. Let's see what Miami can do. Hashtag the future if you made it this far. I'm out. Peace.